Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to see how the PlayTab, an activity board for infants and toddlers, stacks up against the four Toyetic principles. My name is Azhelle Wade. I'm known in the toy industry as a toy coach. I'm a mom and toy industry expert, and I'm going to help you find out which toys you should be paying attention to this holiday season. So first things first, when you go to get your PlayTab, you need to get the magnetic board, this piece, and 6 tiles if you want to fill up all the spots on the magnetic board. You can get all of that on Amazon for $45. I'll show you that listing in just a moment. But let's open up and see what you get inside this package that illustrates what the PlayTab can do. Now, this is created by a company called Fat Brain Toys, and inside that colorful sleeve, you'll see a wooden activity board. This wooden activity board has 6 white dots that show you the location of the 6 main magnets that we're going to use to snap on the activity pieces that I have here. All right, first up, we've got switches. I have to say, for this product, when I saw it on the list of things that the PR company I work with was representing, I got really excited because as a new mom, I have a 4-month-old and I'm just, always looking for toys that are going to help him develop new skills, grow and learn, and toys that are just fun for me to look at while I'm playing with him. Okay, so I've got the color wheel. I'm opening up this sweeper. Oh, this is nice. Looks like the sweeper sweeps a bunch of little dots. Yep. So we've got the sweeper. What's really nice about this already is there's a sense of kind of collectibility and unboxing that you don't normally get with toys in this age demographic, so that's kind of fun for a parent. It's like oh, what educational activity tile will I get next? It's like a pop-up mirror, see themselves, check the makeup, make sure it's good. No, babies are just checking. Okay, so I've got my 6 tiles opened up, laid out around my magnetic board, so now I can just snap them into place. So I've got a gear tile here where I can play with the different gears. It's nice. I've got color wheel tile, kind of an optical illusion when you spin that. Got a switcher. This would be my favorite, and this would be my baby's favorite, honestly, when he's old enough. I've got, I don't know what this one is. Oh, this is a track ball. Black and white balls that roll in crates.
And the Grammy goes to...
We've got the sweeper, which I already played with when I was opening it. I'll sneaking the balls around. And we've got a mirror. Very important. I've got to check the makeup, make sure we still have eyes. Like, very important. We got to the mirror. Okay, so now the fun part, figuring out how you want this activity board to look. You just, oh wow. They just kind of snap into place. Fun. So it's essentially build your own. I feel like this is play for the parent and the kid. I don't know. We'll see when my kid grows. And I let him play with this if he decides to move around the tiles. But I feel like as a parent, I just played by organizing and designing my kid's toy. And now I can go candid with him and be like, here, play with this that I have designed just for you. Because I know how much you love black and white and how obsessed you are with mirrors and switches. I love it. It's hard for me to give my feedback as a mom because I haven't yet been a mom of a 12-month-old. So I think it's going to be awesome. I'm like, part of me is like, oh, like 6 months. I think he would enjoy this, but I'm sure, there's safety reasons for why this is a 12-month toy. So I'm going to mess around with that. It seems like the magnets are pretty securely and safely put inside the board. I don't see a way that they would be able to pop out. There's a lot of secure triangle screws in the back here. I don't know if you can see it. So it's not like a traditional Phillips head or a flat head. You can't just use a standard screwdriver to open this. This is meant for you not to open it, for safety. So that's great. It does definitely feel like a secure product that I wouldn't mind my child getting their hands on. So let's jump over and see what people on Amazon thought of this product. All right, so we are pulling up Fat Brain Toys Play Lab Essentials, a modular sensory activity busy board for toddlers and babies ages 12 months and up. So this product has 117 reviews already, a 4.8 star rating, incredible. Now, I know I love this. I want us to look at what's wrong. Like, what are we not seeing because we haven't played with this with a child just yet, maybe because we haven't had it long enough yet. So let's jump down to our 2-star reviews and see what insight we can get here. This person said, don't use on stainless steel appliances. Place these on the fridge to entertain toddler while they were busy in the kitchen. Scratched the stainless steel fridge terribly. Had to get a good picture because of the reflection and lighting, but these scratches are all over the freezer portion where the magnets were. Oh, interesting. I mean, great insight. I would not have thought to put them on my refrigerator, but that actually seems like a great use. So I am wondering what caused the scratches and what I would. Yeah, okay, it does. I snapped it to my metal ruler. So I have a metal ruler here. And yeah, this does snap to it. I mean, for me, that's an incredible additional use case. That I could now snap this as different locations of my house where there's like already a metal wall. I'm more excited. So from this person's review, you know, what I might do to protect my home and my things is put a few felt pads on the back, maybe over the 4 points where the screws are, to see if that can not stop it from snapping to a metal surface, but just protect the surface once it does snap. I'll have to test that and let you know. This review from Michelle Payne says, meh. I wish these were stronger magnets and they stuck to my fridge, but they're weak and don't entertain my daughter. This is so interesting. I'm wondering if these people didn't buy the board or if they just want to be able to use it anywhere in their home and they're not focused on using it on the board. What I do think could be beneficial is if this board had like a kickstand. Like, imagine if this could just like sit like upright like that. I think that would be even better. It would have to be like a pretty stable, maybe full triangle base. But I would imagine, like, if you want to entertain your toddler, maybe they don't want to be a brag on the floor, you want to put it up somewhere, it would be really nice to have it like stand like this. Okay, let's keep going with these reviews. Let's see the 3-star reviews. Okay, Kate. Kate says, I bought this for my 2-year-old who's a little behind in some ways. His favorite toy is little people. Second favorite would be stuffed animals. He's not really on to other things just yet. I thought this would be a nice option for his Easter basket. He played with it for maybe a few minutes and quickly lost interest. My 6 and 12-year-olds were the same. In the past, most fat brain toys have held the attention of the entire house regardless of the toy or age of the person playing. For whatever reason, this one was just a flop. I dislike how expensive the take-along silicone add-on is. I also find buying the extra tiles to be a hassle that will also leave you with duplicates unless you plan to purchase in advance. Maybe it's a good thing this was a miss for us because it's me saving money. It seems like it would be another great toy from a great company, but it just didn't work out this time. It is well constructed and I'm sure someone will like it. Perhaps this toy would be better suited for a therapist's bags of tricks than just one that successfully makes the jump to the home toy box. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I am really curious, I said, to see how my son would react to this. I do agree that there are some design elements I think could have been enhanced to make these things more interesting that may not have cost too much more. For example, I mean, typically when you create a mold, if it's molded in this plastic color, there's a reason that we're limited in the colors. But if there wasn't any space to put in, like, I don't know, a transparent color, or to put some sort of color over this clear case so that as they're moving, maybe they peek from behind like a cutout image or something, so there's a little bit more surprise and wonder here. With these switches, I do think that there's something like Fat Brain is always very primary colors, but there is such little differentiation between the brightness of the color of the red and the orange. It doesn't visually have the same like snap appeal of a light switch. And then, you know, because nothing changes, I think that's a big one. I'm sure cost was a huge issue here and they couldn't very well add in an electronic, something that's already a magnet, already going to be part of this larger set, and they had a set price point they were trying to reach. But I do wonder if there was just, I don't know, just another little level of surprise or wonder that they could bake into each of these. And then with this, like the sweeper tool, this reminds me of like so many of those like water games you would play to try to get the balls into a certain location. You know, again, I wonder, could there have been, I don't know, little divots in here that you're trying to get the balls into, as opposed to just sweeping them around? So turning it into more of a game than just like a simple direct activity. Like, could there have been like just little divots for the balls to fall in so that you're actually aiming to get them into something or somewhere? And then the mirror, I mean, it's a mirror, so I'm sure that will, I actually think the mirror might be one of the more entertaining pieces for the baby, because it's like you press a button and something actually changes. So, and then the color wheel, this one I could see as being almost too simple. Could there be more that happens when you spin the color wheel, or could it be like multiple layers, so you're spinning one color on top of another? It's like secondary and primary. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But I have to point out, this reviewer is saying, she was using it for her 6 and 12-year-old, where I don't think this was intended for that high of an age demographic. So that's just something to consider. Erica says, this is a lovely toy for fine motor skills, cause and effect, and exploration. It has a good variety of pieces that it includes, and I love the concept of being able to switch out the pieces and change it over time. This person did give a review for in exchange for a free product. So I'm sure that's not going to be as accurate. Yeah, a lot of these 4-star reviews were in exchange for a free product. This one says, feels kind of cheaply made for how expensive it is. The kids like it though. Important. And Blair here says that it was a good gift that they bought for their child's first birthday, and even their 4-year-old sibling likes to play with it. It's the most portable busy board that you can customize. They said it's a little expensive, but they think it's overall worth it. Okay, well, it is time for us to dive into the 4 toyetic principles and talk about the toyetic scorecard for PlayTab. All right, so our first toyetic principle is distinct character personalities. Now, this kit doesn't have distinct characters. There are no characters here, but distinct character personalities is where there's something for a kid to latch on to and say, like, that's their thing. That's like their personality. That's their type. And so if you think about like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Bluey, there is a character in there that kids relate to and say, that one's me. Because of the color, a gender, an attitude, that one is that. So when we look at toys, we look for a toy that allows a kid to see themselves in that toy. When we look at this PlayTab, it's a bit different, right? Because we're targeting a younger demographic who's not quite thinking that way. Unless we're looking at the mirror tile that literally lets kids see themselves, which yes, does count. What we're looking for here is more when a kid sees the type of play pattern or activity or thing of interest that normally catches their eye. So I would say distinct character personalities, I would frame that when I'm looking at this toy as, I'm a parent and I know my kid loves to flip all the switches, and then I can grab the tile that is all about switch flipping. I can make an entire busy board with just anything that has a button to press or switch to flip, and just put more and more mirrors and switches in that busy board. Maybe duplicates, but I could create a busy board only that for my kid, which I think is pretty cool. Or if I'm a parent that says, oh my God, my kid is obsessive gears, they're taking apart all of their toys and trying to see what's inside, maybe I do a busy board of all gears for my kid. And this would be my pick. My child, likely because of his age, is very into high contrast, black, whites, reds, loves it. So I could see his eyes just going like crazy if he saw a busy board filled with a lot of black and white tiles. So if there were more black and white options, which I want to check the back of the packaging to see if that's the case. There is like a sun and a moon version. There is an orange tile with a white circle in it. So those things I would say are high contrast. And for me, I'd say, oh, my baby is super into high contrast. I'm going to make a busy board that's all high contrast. Let's say the color wheel, if you're like, oh, my kid's a little artist, they're going to be mesmerized by something like the color wheel, or they're a kid that likes to just touch, 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 and spin, spin, spin. Maybe this combined with the spinner might be a good fit for that kid. So because of that, because the tiles really focus on different points of dexterity, different interest, different visual interests, from mirrors to gears to contrasting elements, I am going to say that PlayTab has distinct character personalities. I would give it a 3 out of 5. The reason we're giving it a 3 out of 5 is because I think there's a lot more that they could do with it. I think that when you look at the PlayTab set options that you have for the different tiles you can get, they don't really dive into the different skills in the way I'm talking about it. There's not a set that's all about high contrast. There's not a set that's all about gears. There's not a set that's all about switches. And I think they're kind of missing the mark by not having something like that. Like some babies are just obsessed with switches for a period of time, and then they switch over and suddenly they're obsessed with high contrast, and then they switch over and suddenly they're obsessed with gears. So I think there's actually a little bit of a missed opportunity in creating sets that allow parents to not just create a busy board of a bunch of random things, but to create a custom busy board to what really draws their kids' attention the most. I also think there could be an opportunity for something more tactile here, like a tile with some fur on it, and like having an entire set of tiles with different tactile things to touch. So that's another way that I feel like there's a lot more diving in that could be done. But we're not giving points on potential. We're giving points on actual. So 3 out of 5 for distinct character personalities. Now, character-specific accessories. So character-specific accessories refers to when we talk about the different character personalities, what are the additional add-ons to support those different characters? So as I said, there's, contrast, there's gears, there's switches. What are the add-ons that they have to support those different characters? I don't see the add-ons here. So I'm going to have to give it a 2 for character-specific accessories, because I do think that there's potential here. And while we're not giving points on potential, I do think that they have explored it. When I look at their set 4, there is it looks like there's another tile where there are switches similar to this one in set 2. So they have done some duplication. That seems like they're trying to explore one specific thing a baby might like to do, but they haven't gone deep enough. So that is going to be a 2 for character-specific accessories. Scalability by theme. Scalability by theme. This is a TOYDA principle where, does this toy have the capability to expand its play if we were to theme it with like cupcakes or space? And I have to say, oh yeah, I think there is so much opportunity for this PlayTab board to easily expand into different themes and improve the play pattern by expanding into those themes. That's one point that's really important with that Toyetic principle. It's not just about expanding your theme for the fun of it, like slapping cupcakes on everything. It's about, can the play pattern be enhanced by adding a theme on top of it? So it's like, I don't know, if it's a robot, can we change the robot's face by the way that we'll flip a switch? So if you turn this way, it kind of looks like a face, right? So now if this was a robot face and you flip a switch, would that change the robot's expression? There's a lot of chance to expand on this overall concept with the various themes, and those themes could definitely add to the play pattern. So scalability by theme is a 5 out of 5. Congratulations. That's a great one. And then finally, surprise wow factor. In the toy industry, wow factor is everything to a toy. You've got to have that moment where a kid is playing with a product and something just surprising happens that keeps them wanting to come back again and again. Now, I think that there are currently, with the sets that I have, about 2 points of wow factor, 2 of 6. So what do you think those points are? Well, number 1, I think the most obvious is the mirror. The way that you press a button that pops open, a kid doesn't know at first that there's a mirror in there. And then because it's a mirror, depending on where your kid is, what room they're in, whatever is reflected back in that mirror is also going to be part of the surprise wow factor. So I think this mirror is a great surprise wow factor piece. Also, the second one I would say are these rolling black and white balls. When you see them at first glance, you don't assume that they're black and white on the other side, but as a kid touches and plays with them, they're going to start realizing like, oh wow, they change color with my touch. That's going to feel pretty magical to a kid. Now, honestly, of the 6 that I have, those are the only 2 that I felt surprise and wow factor in. This almost had me, and you know what? I might give this one to them because for a kid, the gears moving in this way could potentially be surprising. This could potentially be wow factor, but I do think there's an opportunity here to integrate more colors of gears, maybe transparency in one of the colors so that there is a little bit more variation of what you'll see and experience as you twist this crank for these gears. Now, the last wow factor element of this, I would say, is something they don't really advertise because they probably don't want you doing this. And that's the fact that you can take these off and put them around your home on other metallic surfaces, like potentially your fridge. That is a huge wow factor. Imagine as a kid seeing one of your favorite toys in your room and then parts of it are just around the house. Or as a parent, being able to take parts of a toy that you know, like, oh my God, this here keeps my kid engaged for hours. I need to cook dinner. Bam, putting it up on the fridge, kids next to me, playing with the mirror on the fridge. So I think there's a lot of wow factor and surprise in the fact that these can potentially be placed around your home in unexpected places. So for surprise wow factor, considering those 2/3 tiles that had some surprise and the element of the board itself being customizable and potentially being used around your house, I'm going to give surprise wow factor for this toy a 4. So let's play TAB's final Toyetic score. Drum roll, please. It's a 14. Fantastic score. So if you're looking for a toy for your kiddos ages 12 months and older, I would recommend picking up the PlayTab. I think it's something that's fun for the kiddos, but even fun for the parents to just customize a toy that you think would be a great fit for your little one, buying exactly the tiles and pieces that you think would keep them most engaged, but also discovering new tiles and pieces along the way. Okay, if you want the link to grab a PlayTab, check the description below this video. You'll find the link there. You'll also find a link to our merch shop where you can get this Make It Toyetic t-shirt. And promise me, if you have an idea for a toy or a game, you will do one thing. You will make it toyetic. Okay. Until next time, I'll see you later, toy person.